welcome back to my channel. My name is Tafina. If you are new to my channel, then welcome. If you are not new and you're returning, welcome back. So this video, I know it's been a while. Can you guys tell I cut my hair? You guys like it? I love it. I've always had this hairstyle, and it was always before the pandemic. So if you watch my old videos, you'll see. But anyways, sorry, I'm like out of breath. Anyways, so I actually want to touch on a touchy subject. I don't know if many of you guys know, but the month of April is Sexual Assault Awareness Month. This is something that is really like sensitive to me. This is something I never talked about like ever. I've seen other native YouTubers do a video of this and like what they went through and all of that, and when I watched it I cried so much, and I was like so sad, and I'm just like dang, because like they went through their own traumatizing experience, and then I was like, am I at that point, do I even want to share this? And it just sucks because I was so scared, and now like this month it's just different now that I know it is sexual assault awareness month. And so what I'm going to do is, of course, I'm pretty sure you guys can already tell, is I'm going to tell you guys what I went through and what happened to me. And I just want to say, like, don't be afraid to let anybody know what happened to you, because the sooner you let someone know, the sooner you'll get help, the sooner things will not fall into place, but the sooner like the person who did it to you can be reprimanded. So please, all I can say is don't hold back. But this happened. Okay, so basically what it is I had a friend from junior high, and her and like our friends and stuff. There was like a group of, I want to say 4 or 5 of us. We were like close friends. We played sports together. We're in the same class together. We had the same friends, and we all hung out in a group and everything. And so when we went to high school, we were like, oh yay, we're all gonna be together, we're gonna have fun and all of this stuff, and it was fun. So when we went to high school, we all ran into each other again, and I was like, hey, yeah, and it was so much fun. Like it was a group of girls, and they were like my best friends, like my best friends, and I was so happy that I ran into them, and I was like, yeah, we were going to the same high school and everything, and that was so much fun. I was really looking forward to it. And then when high school came around, and I was so excited, and then me being who I am, I went out for sports. So I was like really dedicated to my education. I went to sports. I played volleyball, basketball. That's what I did. So then I had a very good friend at the time. I don't even want to say her name. Let's call her Alice. And then yeah. So basically my friend Alice and I and our other friends in the group, we all tried out for sports. We played volleyball together, we played basketball, and then so then when it came to high school, like freshman year, we went out for the same basketball team. We had tryouts and everything. So tryouts is, at that time, I don't know what it is now, but at that time it was like a week straight. So I, at that time, was not staying in a dorm, and I was like going back and forth from the res to town, and that's what I was doing. And then like I would have tryouts and everything, and honestly I don't remember if it was Alice who asked me like, hey, can you sleep over at my house, or if I asked her. I don't remember. But anyways, after basketball tryout one night, I ended up at her house because that was like the plan. I packed my bags and everything. I brought clothes and I was like, all right, I'm just gonna go to school from your house the next morning. So that was the plan. After tryouts, I went back to her house. Her family was there, her siblings, her parents, and then we had like a good evening. We ate, we watched TV, we hung out, we like shot the basketball around for a bit, and then it was bedtime. So I went to bed. Her and we were in her room, and I slept in the same bed with her. She had, I think it was a queen size bed, but anyways, we shared a bed. So what it was like the room, and then I was on the wall, because the bed was like in the corner. So I slept more toward the wall, and then she was on the outside of the bed. And then we went to sleep, and honestly, I don't even remember what time it was, but Alice's brother, and the weird thing is, her brother went to, he was older than her, and he went to the same junior high that I went to, and it was my older brother and my older sister that were there too. And then like basically our older siblings all went to the same junior high, and like they just knew each other. They played sports together and everything, just like Alice and I were playing. So that night I was sleeping. I honestly don't remember what time it was, and you know, like when you're sleeping and then you just like feel something like crawling on you. Ew, sounds all ugly, but as you feel something crawling on you, like like you move around, like, and then you're in the process of starting to wake up. So then I was doing that, and I knew I was doing that. Like, okay, something is crawling on me, and I was like starting to move around and stuff. And then when I came to, when I finally like woke up and realized what was happening was Alice's older brother was like at the foot of the bed, and he was working his way up, and like I had no idea what to do. I was still a kid, and I like, this never happened to me. And basically what it was that he was touching me, and it was just so weird because it never happened to me. And I didn't know what to do. Like, I didn't know if I should wake up, if I should sit up, if I should scream, if I should even do anything. And I literally just froze. And I literally just froze in that moment. And then what happened was, I thought that me just laying there, it was, one, I knew wasn't okay, and then two, I was just like, I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know if they're gonna say anything, and I just got so scared. And like I was saying, I just literally laid there, and I kept moving around, like pretending that I was eventually gonna wake up, like I was in the process of waking up. And I didn't do anything, and I just froze the whole time. And I froze, and then he just kept going, and I was just like, I don't know what to do. And at one point, like, it kind of kicked my legs, and I think that like got him mad, because at that point he was just like, he put, okay, oh my god, it's hard. He didn't like put his genitals inside of me. Like, that's not what happened. He just kept touching me, and like with his fingers, and And then he basically stuck his fingers inside me, and I didn't know what to do, and I got so scared. And honestly, I don't remember from there, and I was just like, I was laying there, and I didn't want to say anything. I didn't want to make a noise or anything. I literally just laid there and let it happen because I was so scared of what was gonna happen. Like, if I was to wake up, if I was to do anything, like try to defend myself. So I laid there, and then it was so gross, so gross. And I could hear him, like, getting himself off with, like, his other hand. It was so disgusting. And I just laid there, and I was crying, and I had tears coming down my face and stuff, and like the whole time he was just like getting himself off and stuff while touching me, and I was trying to move around still, like in a way to where he like takes his hand out basically, and that didn't help until he was done with himself, and then when he was done, he just like took his hand out and he just covered himself back up, like he put his hands back on it. He just walked out like nothing happened. And then when he walked out of the room, I just laid there crying. I just laid there crying, and I didn't know what to do. And at that time, it was like 2001, 2002, and I was a freshman in high school, and like around that time there wasn't like cell phones and stuff, and they was just barely coming out. And so what happened was I literally laid there the whole night awake. After that, I didn't know what to do, and I was just like so scared. And when morning came around, I got ready and I left her house early, and I was like, I'm gonna leave early. I just want to take my time walking to school. So I left, and I walked by myself. And when I got to the high school, when I got to the school, I went straight to the office, and I told them, I was like, I need to call my mom, my dad right now. And they were just like, why? And I was just like, I just need to call my parents. So I called my parents and I told them, and I was like, I didn't want to tell them over the phone what happened to me. I just told them, I said, I need you to pick me up right now. I cannot be at school. They just told me that something bad happened to me. And they were just like, what are you talking about? And I just like cried on the phone, and I was begging them. And I was like, please just come pick me up. So, and the thing was, like, they were already headed into town. So, when they picked me up, it was like, I waited in the office for like, I want to say 30 to 40 minutes, and then my mom showed up, and she came into the school because she had to check me out and stuff. When I saw my mom come through the doors, I just ran to her, and I just started crying so much. And my mom was like, what's wrong? And I told her, I was like, I can't tell you here. And she was just like, why? And I was like, I can't tell you. I have to tell you around Dad. I was like, I want to tell you and Dad together. So she checked me out. school, and then we went straight to our car and stuff, and I just started crying. I started crying really, really bad. And my mom, my dad was like, "What's wrong? What's wrong?" And then they're both like hugging me and stuff, and I was just like crying. And I was trying to say, like, I was trying to tell them what happened to me, but the words would not come out of my mouth. I literally sat between my mom and my dad in the front seat, just crying for like, I want to say it was probably like a good 30 minutes, and that whole time I was literally just trying to say what I wanted to say and tell him what happened. And so I finally told him what happened, and then as soon as I got it all out and I told him, that's when they drove straight to the police station. And then we basically filed a complaint, or I don't even know what it is. We filed something, and but here's the thing, is that Alice's dad was a well-known person, and he was like tribal, he was a member of the tribal government and all this stuff, and so they knew who he was, and they knew like everything that he'd done, and he contributed to the city and all of that and all whatever. But they were just like, okay, they basically took my report and they did all of this stuff, and they're like, we'll be in touch. And so that day I went home with my mom, my dad, and at that time, like, I was so scared. I didn't know what to do, and I had my own room and everything in the house, and that night I could not sleep, and I couldn't sleep, and I told them, I couldn't sleep, and I told my mom, my dad, and I was like, I don't want to sleep alone. I don't want to sleep in my room. I'm so scared. And then my dad, he was just like, no, everything's okay, everything's okay. I'm like, no, I don't want to sleep in my room. Because my room, it was just me alone, and then I close the door normally, and I turn off all the lights and stuff. But then I had my bedroom window, and I was just like so traumatized, and I was scared. So what happened was, my mom and my dad ended up moving my mattress into their room at the foot of their bed. And like all day I just kept crying, and my mom was trying to hug me, and my dad was trying to console me, and it just sucked so much because I was so scared. But then the thing that hurts the most too is I was with the two most important people in my life, and I was still so scared. So I was sleeping in their room at the foot of the bed and stuff, and I could not sleep. I couldn't stop crying. And then, like, some people would be like, oh, that's it? That's all that happened to you? You didn't get raped? You didn't, like, molest? I mean, I was molested, but I wasn't taken, like, sex slave or anything. And I'm like, no matter what the degree is that you were sexually assaulted, an assault is an assault. And it just sucks so much. And so my dad was praying over me, my mom was praying over me the whole night, and I told him, I was like, I don't want to go to sleep. And then my dad, he was just like, go to sleep, I'll take care of you, I'll stay here and I'll watch you all night, and I won't go to sleep. And then my mom said the same thing too. So eventually I ended up crying myself to sleep. And I guess during the day, after we made the report and stuff, and we filed all of that with the court, or with the police, they went and they talked to Alice's family, and because he was a well-known person, like, in the judicial system on the reservation and whatever, they ended up telling my parents that they're not going to support it. that basically that they were calling me a liar and I was just making it up and stuff. And so basically that's what happened. Is nothing happened to him. He got away with it. And I lost my friend, and to this day, like, I used to wonder, like, if we would have been good friends and all of that. But I'm not willing to put myself in a position again. And you know what the fucked up thing is when he got away with it, and then two, like, some years now after we graduated from high school, and like, okay, let me backtrack a little. So I would still see her in high school, like at the school and stuff, and I made the basketball team, she didn't. And it was just like a lot of negative things that came out about me, just saying like I'm stupid, I'm a slut, I'm a whore, and I never had a boyfriend, and I never did anything. I was all about my studies, all about school, sports, and stuff, and I had to make all new friends. And then, and one thing is, her family was really well known on the reservation that anytime they said something about me, my family, like, my family got dragged because of that. And it wasn't to the point, not is, I mean, it was to the point where, so my dad was a pastor, and then my mom was a pastor's wife. We were pastor's kids and stuff, and it got to the point where, like, my dad started losing people in his congregation and church and stuff because I don't know what happened, what stories were told and stuff, but basically it just came down to the fact, and people started saying and believing, like, I'm just making it up, I'm just trying to tarnish Alice's dad's reputation and all of this. And I was just like, no, that's not what I'm trying to do. And my little brother was going to the same junior high school that I went to, that they went to, and eventually it died down. But now, as an adult and after high school and graduated and everything, I graduated, he ended up, the person that molested me ended up requesting me on Facebook, and I was like so mad, I was so livid. And he ended up reaching out to me, like messaging me on Facebook Messenger and just saying like, hey beautiful, how are you doing? And he's like, I missed you. And he's like don't forget me or something like that. And I was like, what the fuck? And I honestly don't remember word for word, but I was so mad that I just started crying. And like all of those emotions, the trauma and the everything I felt that whole time period just came rushing back. And I was just like, what the hell? And I was so scared. But then again, I started thinking, like, if I ever come across him, I'm not that scared girl that I was back in 2001, 2002. That if I ever come across him, like, to this day, I've never come across him, but if I ever did, I will not hold back. I would never hold back. I would go full bitch mode, and I won't hold back, because he took enough of my time. And his family saying this and that about my family, my parents, is just not okay. So if I were to ever run into any of them, I wouldn't hold back. And all I can say is that I'm truly, 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 truly happy that I had parents who believed me, who trusted me, and who didn't call me a liar, who stood behind me. And then my dad, when he found out that my claim was going to be unsupported and stuff, and he was just like so mad. And him being a pastor, he was unfortunately cursing and stuff, and he was just like, why? And honestly, I can just say that I'm so thankful for my mom and my dad, because they supported me the whole time, and they never doubted me. They never made me feel like I was jeopardizing their reputation, that I was ruining anything for them. They just literally made me feel like and let me know that they had my back. And then to this day, like when I tell my husband what happened, and he gets mad and stuff too, and I'm just like, all I can say is like, unfortunately, it does happen, and it does happen to anybody, any age, like kids, teenagers, adults, whomever. Please, if anybody ever tells you something happened to them, just believe them. Listen to them, hear them out before you completely write them off or write the story off. It's just not everybody is fortunate to have like a support group that I did. Like my parents, my siblings, and I lost all my friends. And I had to make all new friends and stuff, and it was just so hard to go through all of that, just knowing that all of these cruel things were being said about my family, my parents, and my siblings, and even though we weren't those type of people, but a lot of things were being said about us. And eventually it just all died down, and like I lost my friendship. I lost all my friends and stuff from junior high, and I had to make all new friends. And thank God for like sports, because when I made the basketball team, like I made all new friends, and I'm still in touch with them to this day. And it was just hard to go from having like good friends to having no friends to having to make new friends and having even better friends now, and just it was an experience, and I really don't wish this upon anybody ever. And if family, if friends tell you this, please listen to them. It can happen to boys, it can happen to girls. Just please be aware of your surroundings. Don't be scared to scream, to yell, to fight back, even in the moment. And that's one thing I really regret, is that I didn't fight back in the moment. But I learned from this. I'm a strong person, and yeah, I still get sad. I still cry about it, and like when people talk about like situations similar to mine, I'm just like, damn. Yeah. But anyways, all I can say is I hope this never happens to any of you guys, or you guys never have to experience it with any of your family members and stuff. And just thank you guys for hearing me out. Just thank you for your time, I guess. And please just hear people out. But anyways, once again, my name is Tafina. If you are new to my channel, please subscribe. And I sound so nasally, and I'm sorry. And but anyways, I hope you guys have a great day, great night, great weekend. Okay, bye.